Assalamu alaikum girls, how are you? Hope you're doing fine. Let us start today's lesson by revising the previous lesson. We have talked last time about homeostasis and how can the body control the temperature. We said that at hot conditions, sweat glands would release more sweat, but at cold condition, it releases less sweat. The arterioles at hot conditions, it will dilate, which is called vasodilation, and at cold condition, it will constrict, which is called vasoconstriction. The body hair will go up at will go down, at hot conditions, and it will be raised up at cold conditions. وهذا فيها mistake في PowerPoint that I sent last time. كانوا هدول معكوسين. So please take care. At hot condition, the hair will go down, and at cold condition, it will go up to insulate, because the air will insulate the body and keeps the heat inside of it. Muscles at cold condition, it will shiver. Shivering is they will relax and contract very quickly, which releases heat to heat up the start our lesson today. You have this slide on the PowerPoint presentation that I sent to you. Which gland secrete insulin? It is the pancreas. I think we had this درس الهرمونز. What is the function of insulin hormone? We said that insulin helps the body to lower the glucose level in the blood. What is the other hormone secreted by this gland, اللي هي pancreas? I don't know if you can remember it. We said that برضو بالهرمونز اللي هو سميناه glucagon. يعني pancreas will secrete insulin and glucagon, and both of them, they work in different ways. The insulin lowers the glucose temperature, the glucose level in the blood, and the glucagon raises up the glucose level in the blood. What happens if insulin is not secreted? Suppose that there is a problem in the pancreas that makes it unable to secrete this hormone. What do you think will happen? In today's lesson, we will know what will happen. Okay, so lowers the glucose level is the insulin, and raises up the blood glucose level is the glucagon. Okay, today's lesson is called negative feedback. You can find it in your book, page 253. This is the lesson. It is called negative feedback. Recognize what is negative feedback, figure out how glucose regulation works, and figure out what is diabetes, the symptoms and the treatment. Okay, let us start with objective number 1. Recognize what is negative feedback. That the center of the body, or the gland in the center of the body, that is called hypothalamus. Remember, what did it do? We said that hypothalamus is the gland that monitors the temperature in your body. At hot conditions, your body, you will sweat and vessels will dilate. اللي سميناها vasodilation. Why does your body do all these things? Because it needs your body to go back to its normal position, to its normal conditions. Okay, يعني when you feel hot, your body works the opposite way to go back to its normal conditions. Cold conditions, the vessels will constrict, you will shiver, less sweat will be secreted. Why? Why does your body do this? Because it makes the opposite to make your body goes to its normal conditions. This is called negative feedback. What does negative feedback mean? What does it mean? That the body works always in the opposite direction to maintain a constant internal environment. I have here negative feedback, the change that happens in the body. It stimulates it to reverse or opposes the change to maintain the constant internal environment. Now, if you go to your book, page 253, you will find this loop that explains the negative feedback. Here, if the conditions at required level, يعني it is constant, control center detects increase. If this conditions is increased, إيش بيعمل your body? Control center causes response that decreases the condition. يعني at hot conditions, your body work to decrease the condition and go back to its normal conditions. On the other hand, if the control center detects decrease in conditions, your body work to increase the conditions to go back to its normal condition. So this loop is called negative feedback. In the PowerPoint presentation, this is a loop that shows how does your body work to maintain a constant temperature, a constant water level, a constant carbon dioxide level, oxygen level, glucose level, pressure. Always feedback, negative feedback works the same for everything inside of your body to maintain everything constant at its normal levels. In objective number 2, we will figure out how glucose regulation works. Sometimes if glucose regulation becomes high and sometimes it becomes low, how can your body, using the negative feedback, how can it maintain the glucose level constant in your bloodstream? To find out how does your body regulate glucose level, we will go back to this slide. We said that pancreas secretes insulin and glucagon. Insulin makes the glucose level lower and glucagon makes the glucose level higher. Right. But if the glucose level is not treated, it will cause a disease known as diabetes. سكري مس. What is diabetes? Is when your body can't regulate the glucose level in the blood. So let us consider you ate a meal, any meal. Now, this is the concentration of the glucose, the level of the glucose. When we eat any meal, the glucose level becomes higher. And then your body works by using the negative feedback to works the opposite direction to make the glucose level goes back to normal. This is the normal situation. Okay, how is that done? When the glucose level gets higher, the pancreas secretes insulin. Insulin is produced and glucose level fall to normal again. Okay, this is the case. Type. For diabetic people with diabetes, after any meal, the glucose level will get higher. Type. But there is no insulin. It is not secreted by the pancreas, so that's why the glucose level remains high in the blood. We now want to learn how does your body control the glucose level by using insulin. Before that, let us answer this question. What is the target organ of insulin and glucagon hormones? احنا حكينا دائما في gland وفي هذه الجلاند it secretes a hormone with this hormone له target organ. Think for a while, what is the target organ for insulin and glucagon? It is the liver. The liver. Now we want to find out why is the liver and how is this done. To learn more, we should know these terms and we have to understand them so we will not mix between them. There is something called glucose. I think you know it. The glucose, when any carbohydrate is analyzed, and broken down into its smaller units رح تعطي جلوكوز. في إشي اسمه جلايكوجين وهذا هلا رح نتعلمه. في إشي إحنا بنعرفه اسمه جلوكاجون اللي هو الهرمون. طيب let us find out the storage material for excess glucose in the liver. يعني if there is a lot of glucose in your body, the glucose will be changed from glucose into what? Into glycogen. هاي المعلومة موجودة في كتابكم. Into something called glycogen. هذا الجلايكوجين هو fat. ليه بقولوا لكم عشان تعملوا دايت لازم تخففوا السكر؟ ليه؟ لأنه extra sugar, extra glucose رح يتحول لفات، وهذا الفات اسمه glycogen. طيب a hormone secreted by the pancreas which increases the glucose concentration in the blood هذا بنعرفه من زمان اسمه glucagon. Okay, a sugar which is produced by digestion of carbohydrates هذا بنسميه glucose. So هدول ثلاث كلمات don't mix between them. Glucose, I mixed. Glycogen and glucagon. هلا glucagon عشان نحفظه glucagon is a hormone. Okay, glucagon is a hormone. والglycogen هي الfatty material to store the sugar. هيك بصير مس. Suppose that this is your blood and it is filled with glucose. Your pancreas will secrete insulin. The insulin رح تاخد هدول الجلوكوز وتحطهم بالليفر as glycogen. Okay? طيب هلا في the other way round إذا كان في عندي a very little amount of glucose, which hormone will be secreted? Glucagon. حكينا glucagon is a hormone. Glucagon will be secreted to change glycogen into glucose. Okay, this is how it's done. How your body regulate the glucose level. But in the diabetes situation, the insulin is not secreted, so the blood level keeps going in higher levels. طيب, what is the problem? The problem is that we want to know exactly what causes diabetes. Number one, there are two types for diabetes, type number 1 and type number 2. Today we will find out what causes diabetes number 1. Miss, I will send you the link for the video to watch it to find out the reasons why diabetes type 1 happens for some happens in the body. طيب اللي هي mainly it's because when the body is filled with sugar or glucose, the pancreas, there's something happened to the pancreas that makes it unable to produce insulin. Now the inability to produce insulin will make the sugar accumulate. The glucose level will accumulate in the blood, which will make a very dangerous disease called, as you know, diabetes. So as you saw in the video before, the symptoms of having diabetes number 1 or type number 1 is extreme thirst, weakness and tiredness, blurred vision, loss of weight, and in extreme cases يعني لما يصير very high level of glucose or very low level of glucose, a person will lose his or her conscious, so they become unconscious. Last thing we will talk about the treatment. أكيد all of us know that the treatment of insulin type number 1 is by injections, and as you can see it should be taken before meals. Why? To prevent a high level of glucose, because after eating, carbohydrates are digested into glucose, and having the injections before the meal will, as you can see, will prevent the glucose level to get higher in the blood. In the final assessment, I want you to answer these questions. This graph shows the glucose level after a meal. Which graph shows the healthy person? طبعا it is for B. صح؟ لأنه after a meal the glucose level gets high and then it goes back to its normal condition. So B is a healthy person. Here, in which organ is glucose converted into glycogen? Brain, liver, pancreas, or stomach? It is the liver. Glycogen is manufactured in the liver, which is the target organ for insulin hormone. And that's it. I think we're done here. But you know, lately they discovered that the camel's milk can treat diabetes. وهذا أكيد مثل ما الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم وصانا عن الإبل، والقرآن كذلك ذكر في القرآن أفلا ينظرون إلى الإبل كيف خلقت، فهذا من الإعجاز القرآني في العلم. وكمان الله سبحانه وتعالى أمرنا أنه يكون أكلنا وكلوا واشربوا ولا تسرفوا. يعني mainly diabetes هلأ من أكثر أمراض انتشاراً بسبب طريقة أكلنا. So وصية القرآن لنا وكلوا واشربوا ولا تسرفوا. الإسراف هو الخطأ، ولكن لو كان بين ذلك قوامة, this is the most important thing. Thank you. If you have any question, please ask. Thank you.